have those pictures now on our screens, which is, the BJP alleging that manhandling. I mean, they're really dramatic pictures from the West Bengal Assembly that we're putting out at the moment. And that's, of course, all of the ruckus in the Bengal Assembly over the Birbhum killing. So very dramatic pictures, Saurabh, from the Assembly.
That's right. In fact, this seems to have been in the backdrop of, the whole incident of violence in Rampurhat block in Birbhum district of West Bengal. And obviously the BJP has decided to take this issue as a major issue against Mamata Banerjee, and that's why they've also raised it in the assembly. The pushing and shoving is very clear in the pictures. We're also being given to understand at least 5 MLAs have been suspended after this. But who's pushing whom seems to be a little unclear from these pictures at this point. So you can see some, pushing and shoving, and this seems to be the well of the assembly where it's taking place. So obviously this is just one short clip of 13 seconds. Difficult to say how it started, where it started, who started it.
Saurabh, that's the other question. Do we know how this all started? I mean, how is this entire ruckus broken out?
I think it must have started over a discussion on this issue, or some MLA must have raised it. Also, we don't know who's recorded these pictures, and whether it seems to be from someone who was inside the well of the assembly. So probably an MLA who's recorded it on his phone.
These pictures, Saurabh, have been tweeted out by Amit Malviya. So this is a BJP allegation against TMC MLAs in the assembly, that BJP MLAs were manhandled by TMC MLAs inside the assembly. So this is currently an allegation that's been put out by the BJP. So it remains to be seen also, Saurabh, how the TMC now responds to this and what happened, what led to this.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the whole, bit that, we will, have to see. I mean, who started it. This is, of course, a video that's also been shared by the BJP. And this is something that, is along expected lines, because everyone expected that on the BJP is also carried out a 48-hour protest in Birbhum, but this is along expected lines where this ruckus has taken place in the West Bengal Assembly. The pictures seem to have been shared by someone who was inside the well of the house.
Yes, so Saurabh, I'll just put this in perspective.
Probably a BJP MLA.
Yes, Saurabh, I'll just put this in perspective. Amit Malviya tweeted these pictures a short while ago, and he said there's absolute pandemonium in the West Bengal Assembly. He claims, and this is a BJP claim, that after the Bengal governor, TMC MLAs have assaulted BJP MLAs, including the chief whip, as they were demanding a discussion on the Rampurhat massacre on the floor of the house. So the allegation that the BJP specifically is making here, Saurabh, is that TMC MLAs have attacked BJP MLAs in the well of the West Bengal Assembly, allegedly for just demanding a discussion on the Rampurhat violence.
Well, yes, that seems to be the allegation that the BJP is making, though one must clarify that, this filming of the incident doesn't seem to be from any member of the press. It seems to be from someone who was inside the assembly. And the BJP MLAs, 5 MLAs have been suspended also, is what we are being given to understand at this point. In the assembly, though cameras are not allowed inside, obviously the house. So this is footage that has been shared by the BJP, put in the public domain by the BJP, that we are reporting on. And also what we know is that, this is, in the backdrop of, the violence in Rampurhat, which of course is a horrific, case. No justification of any sort can ever be presented for the violence. In fact, the Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee also said that, that of course this kind of horror, of course, cannot be tolerated. But it seems to have been in retaliatory violence, at least alleged retaliatory violence, after the murder of a Trinamool Deputy Gram Pradhan Bhadu Sheikh on Monday night in not very far from the village. There's a crossing where the road towards the village starts from the main highway. And that is exactly where Mr. Sheikh, who was a Trinamool Deputy Gram Pradhan, was murdered. And then, of course, following in the next few hours, there was an angry, murderous mob that reached the village and attacked the house of a man called Sona Sheikh, who actually are different groups within the village, and after that we know what has unfolded. Chief Minister visited, several BJP teams, opposition teams, an MIM team, left team, Congress team, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, all have visited. And of course today there was there was a demand, I believe, for a discussion on this issue. But before that seems to have happened, there seems to have been pandemonium in the assembly, though it's not clear who started it, how it started, where it started, and this is a short 13-second clip.
Like we're putting out that video with a courtesy to Amit Malviya,
made by the
yes.